Da, 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 da. Here we are. Festival in a Box 2.0 coming at you. Where are you? Come on, get involved. Anyway, so this is the welcome and introduction to the Festival in a Box 2.0. I hope you're all well. I hope you're all safe. I hope you're looking forward to this. Just a few things to go through before you get started on the videos. We have a couple of special guests to join us today, just to say hello and catch up with. And I just wanted to talk to you about the videos themselves. So over the last 2 weeks, I've been working tirelessly putting these videos together. It's been a labor of love, if I'm honest. It's been a lot of hard work, but enjoyable work. And I've shared drams with people all over the world, from Scotland, England, Wales, across to Canada, North America, and everywhere in between. So it's been fantastic. Now the videos themselves, there's 24 of them to accompany the 24 whiskies in your amazing box. We hope that you enjoy those. It does mean, because those sessions are pre-recorded, that you can dip in and dip out at any time you like. So if you want to do it all over the one weekend, then great. If not, you can do it over the week or even a couple of weeks, because some people like to do it at their own pace, which is absolutely fine. My suggestion of a running order, if you've never tasted whiskey before or you're coming new to it, is I would focus on the whiskies from Hinch, Waterford, Pike Creek, Fettercairn and Filey Bay to begin with, then maybe moving on to the Penderyn, the Wolfburn, Glenmurray, Glengeary, Languton, Cotswolds, Auchentoshan and English whiskey. And then the next few I would leave until the end. So things like the Spey Fumar, the Stowning, Ragtime Rye and the Michters, the One, Port Ascaig, Bamore, Lefroy and the Glasgow Distillery. Each of them are fantastic whiskies, but really strong stuff, really heavily flavored, peated or sherried. So you might want to either do them at the end of the night or at the end of the session. Anyway, I'm going to bring in my first guest just to come on and say hi. You may have noticed in your boxes that you've each got a can of Larkfire water. This lovely stuff here, which I've been drinking rather a lot of over the last couple of weeks, and before that. And the man, or one of the men responsible for bringing Larkfire to our shops and tastings, is this man here. So I'm going to bring him in. This is James McIntosh. James, how are you doing?
I'm very well, Eddie. How are you? Good to see you again. It's been a while.
It has been a while. It's been, well, since the last one of these. It's back in October last year. So we've moved from the dark, wet Yorkshire days, well, actually, to another dark, wet Yorkshire day, to be fair. What's it like there?
It's a little bit grey. It's a little bit grey, but feeling, I don't know, sort of optimistic for a week of sunshine next week, maybe. I don't know, if we're lucky.
Well, you're heading up to Scotland, aren't you? So
yeah, it's actually about to change that. It's probably likely to be a bit drizzly and damp. In fact, I had a look at I'm going to the Isle of Lewis, and I had a look at the weather forecast, and it's cloud, half sunshine, and a raindrop. So I think that's, you take your pick, isn't it, really?
Absolutely.
I don't really know what that means. I think it just means it's probably going to rain a bit.
But to be honest, when you go up the far north like that, any sun is a bonus, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you get an hour of sunshine in sort of a day, a week. So maybe that's considered a sunny trip, I think.
And the weather gives it more atmosphere as well, I feel.
Well, it brings those lovely low-lying clouds in, and actually, being a sort of water business, we actually need the rain, so I can't really complain too much.
Yeah, exactly. You definitely need these. So James, last time I saw you, obviously we were only kind of 6-7 months in, or maybe 6 months into the first lockdown, or the first part of the pandemic. How have things been for you, since then?
From a personal level, I think we've all suffered in the same way. I think it's been difficult for everyone, and very challenging with small children at home, etc. I know that you're no different there, Eddie, as well. But as a business for us, it's been difficult with hospitality, not open. And I think it's quite nice. There's been a nice community, whiskey community around. So I think a lot of the distilleries and the brand managers, and I think everyone's got involved, which I think's been really nice. And that's been nice, and enjoyable. And I think there's been quite a lot of accessibility to people that maybe you wouldn't get the opportunity to talk to. And I think everyone's been really, really willing to sort of help each other out. And I think that's, I think if there's anything good that's come out of the pandemic, is that willingness to help each other out and be open and accessible to people. So that's been a bonus. And on the back of that, we've done a lot of tastings and met a lot of new people, obviously over Zoom and what have you. But that's been really good for us, and particularly in terms of getting our brand out there. Obviously, with tastings, it's a great accompaniment for a sort of consistent tasting. If nothing else, you know what you're going to get with the water, and it's not got any chemicals in it, so it's not going to affect that tasting. So what you're tasting should be the actual, the juice you're drinking. So I think in that respect, it's been quite good for us in a lot of ways. I wouldn't say good, actually. That's probably the wrong objective. But it's just been what it has been, isn't it? And we've all had to adapt. It's not been perfect, and I know that with the Whisky Lounge, all those festivals are absolutely fantastic and amazing, and not being able to do them, it's just almost unbearable, isn't it? Really, not to be out there and meet people. I took my first foray into London last week. Or was it the week before? I went to a few bars there to meet up with people, and it's sort of gradually, people are coming back, but it's going to take a while, isn't it, really, to move on. And I think, so long as the people keep on acting and the way they are doing, then I think we'll all come through it stronger, actually. And I hope so, anyway. But yeah, that's where we're headed. That's what we're doing.
Absolutely. Well, listen, obviously I know Larkfire pretty well, and there'll be a few people watching that have had the experience from last year, but I'm sure there's one or two people out there that haven't come across the brand before. So why don't you just give us a very brief rundown of what Larkfire is all about and what the water is?
Yeah, sure. Well, we set out with Larkfire to find the best water for whiskey, and we took two approaches. We took a scientific approach, so looking at the sort of chemistry of whiskey and what water, which water would be the best to go with it. And we came up, after speaking to a couple of chemists in Sweden, with a water that's low in everything, really. So it's very, very soft. It's got pretty much nothing in it apart from sodium and chloride, which sort of make it rain. But that's about it. And that's our water, rather. And then from a sensory perspective, obviously no odor and no taste, really. So what you want to be doing is tasting the subtle flavors of the whiskey and more of the whiskey flavor, as opposed to something like a chlorinated water from London or Bath or places like that. Even Scotland, when you've got chlorine in, it does have an effect on the taste and the nose of the whiskey. And if you've got a moment, I suppose if you could do a bit of blind taste at home, actually. I think you'll notice the difference quite quickly. So we went looking for the best water for this, and it took us all across Scotland. And we finally ended up in the northwest of Scotland, in the Outer Hebrides and the Isle of Lewis. The Isle of Lewis itself is particularly special. It's sort of got a it's ruggedly beautiful. And the island itself sits upon some very, very old rock, which is Lewisham Gneiss. It's 3.5 billion years old. And this rock sort of prevents the water traveling through it. It just sits on top of this rock. So what happens is the water doesn't leach any of the minerals into it. So it's very, very soft. It doesn't have any calcium in and other minerals such as that. And it's actually, it's just the perfect water to add to whiskey. It's very little in it. So really, that's what makes Larkfire, so special, is this sort of very, very soft and lowly mineralized water, and it's very plentiful because it rains all the time in Lewis. So that really is the story behind it, and it's now being put into these small cans to add to your whiskey. And we're great believers in whiskey. Drinking whiskey is all about enjoyment. So however you choose to drink it is up to you. So whether you add a bit, a splash, a drop. I tend to have a bit of a splash, but that's just me. But everyone drinks their whiskey differently, and we're all in favour of that.
Yeah. I mean, certainly, I think throughout all of the interviews that I did and the tastings I did, I think I added water to pretty much everything. And I've been doing that for a long time. I mean, certainly when judging, you would add a lot of water to it to really kind of nail the DNA, the flavor profile of a whiskey. And actually, if you're drinking a whiskey and you're trying to put your finger on a particular aroma or flavor that you can smell or taste, but you just can't quite get to it, that little bit of water can actually help to separate those flavors slightly, so that you're not left confused, and it can bring out other flavors that weren't even there to begin with, or didn't seem to be.
Yeah, I think we find that particularly with the sort of cask strength whiskies, it's a great addition to sort of just get more from your drink. And now when we talk about tasting it, in 5 different ways, the same whiskey, just lowering the ABV, which is quite a fun thing to do as well. So I could see that sort of the process of sort of bringing out some of those more subtle flavors. I think that's what we're sort of really about, and trying to help people get the most enjoyment as possible.
Yeah, well, that's great. James, really appreciate you coming on, and thanks again for your support as always. Love being partnered with you guys. I think Larkfire is a great addition to pretty much any whiskey. And have a great time in Scotland.
Well, we will do. Yeah, we've got a tasting actually on Tuesday. I think we're going to put it on our Instagram feed live, and it's with Teddy Joseph from Highland Park, Daryl Halden from White and Mackay, and Gemma Patterson from Balvenie, who's actually from Lewis herself. So she knows a bit about water and whiskey, so it's a great combination.
Well, that should be good fun too.
Yeah, it should be fun. So
all the best with that. If I can make it, I'll try and tune in.
Yeah, brilliant. That'd be great to have you. And thanks again for having us, Eddie. I'm sure it'll be an absolute triumph as always. And we've got to catch up for that beer that we're promising ourselves.
Yes, since last October, I think.
Yeah.
We'll do it for sure. Don't worry.
Yeah, definitely.
But I'll catch up with you very soon, James. And thanks again for coming on. I appreciate your time.
No problem at all, Eddie. Thanks for having me. Take care.
Cheers.
Bye.
Thanks, James. So that was James McIntosh there from Larkfire, which, as I say, is a lovely little whiskey for adding water to. Snoops has asked if I can publish the list, or the list of whiskies in terms of in which order you should be tasting them. I mean, I'll do that. I'll put that on Facebook or something, so that if you're not sure which ones to try first, and again, this is my suggestion. It's not necessarily the written word, as it were. So take it with a pinch of salt. Do what you like with it. I'm sure you'll enjoy it regardless. Anyway, now just before I go and you can get on with your tasting, I've got a very special guest also, a very old friend of mine, good friend of mine, who perhaps you might not have heard from for a little while, because he's been a bit busy, and that is Mr. Ian Chang, who was the master distiller and blender at Cavalan for since he was a child, and he's going to come on and tell us about what he's been up to since he left last March. So I'm going to bring him in now.
Okay.
Ian, good evening.
Oh, good evening, Eddie. It's been it's been some time since I participated the actual physical event of Whisky Lounge.
I know.
Yes.
It's been a long time.
That's right.
Obviously, we've seen quite a deal of each other over the screen.
Yes.
But it's good to see you, and I know it's midnight where you are, so I do appreciate you staying up to talk to us.
No problem. My pleasure.
Well, we'll see about that. So I just wanted to, like I say, people will be very excited to see you because they haven't seen what you've been doing since you left Kavalan and what you're up to. So why don't you just give us a quick rundown of what you've been doing and what you're planning?
Okay, so thank you for having me, Eddie, once again, and also for the viewers out there. It's always a pleasure and honor to see you all. So since I left Kavalan last March, I've been doing another brand new project, but this time instead of in Taiwan, it's going to be in Japan. So as you might have heard already, last year, December the 12th, we had a press conference on our project. So basically, we are going to bring back the distilling industry back to the Karuizawa, the greater Karuizawa region. But the exact location of our distillery is in the next town, which is Komoro City. So that is also the place where I will be relocating myself to, hopefully next month, once I have my second jab of vaccine here in Taiwan. So I'm still in Taiwan at the moment. So basically, this is going to be the second time that I take part in a brand new project. Kavalan was the first one, and I was there for 16 years. So this is my second time to build a brand new distillery. Just now, Eddie said that I joined Kavalan ever since I was a child. So hopefully this second project will be the project that I retire from.
So you still look as young as you did the first time I met you, Ian.
Right. So Eddie, the secret is the more you drink, the younger you become.
Really?
Whiskey preserves you.
Why don't I look like a newborn baby then?
You need to shave. You need to shave.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I've been told that a few times.
No,
So I know, obviously, well, not necessarily obviously, but for those viewers that aren't aware, Kavalan Distillery obviously won you and the whiskey many awards. You're hundreds of awards, and I know you're looking forward to distilling in the greater Karuizawa area of Japan. The climate is going to be quite different to what you're used to in Taiwan, isn't it? Obviously, you've got the very sort of subtropical climate in Yilan County, whereas in Karuizawa it's going to be much cooler, isn't it?
That's right. So every time when people ask me, so what's different, for this project from Kavalan? So as you have kindly mentioned, Eddie, this time we are producing whiskey in a colder climate. I would say much more similar to perhaps Scotland. So apparently in Komoro City, the temperature will range from the lowest in winter, which is going to be -10 to 15, up to 28 in summertime. So this time, I'm able to produce whiskey with age statement. So this is something that I'm really looking forward to see how the new make will mature. For example, with similar casks that we use at Kavalan, and see how it develops. So this is going to be a brand new experience as well for myself. But as you mentioned, I always thought that I was very lucky to have Dr. Jim Swan, my late mentor, who taught me everything about whiskey production, both in hot climate and also in cold climate. So to be honest, I was thinking that I could never use the knowledge of producing whiskey in a cold climate before. But now relocating to Komoro, this is a perfect opportunity to make full use of what he taught me before, especially in terms of wood policy as well, and also with a different kind of new make to go with the wood policy to to be maturing in a colder climate.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Well, I'm sure everyone's very excited to see what happens when you start to distill in the more temperate climate, and I'm very excited to see what you do, because obviously what you did with Cavalan alongside Jim Swan to begin with, and then on your own, was, well, everyone's aware of how good the whiskey was. So I think it'll be very exciting indeed. Anyway, Ian, listen, I really appreciate you coming on, and I know I've kept you up way past your bedtime, so I think I should let you go. Okay. But thanks again for staying up for us, and I'm sure the UK viewers are delighted to see you and to see that you're fit and well and getting ready to distill again.
Yes. So thank you, Eddie, once again for your kind invitation, and I really look forward to the day we can travel freely again. I really miss the UK. I used to go to the UK every month. Can you believe it? When I was at Cavalan. So for 12 times a year, I fly to the UK. So I really miss it. Hopefully, the next time when I go to the UK to see you, Amanda, and also the consumers there, hopefully I can also bring the new make of Komoro single malt whiskey for our consumers and also friends to try in the UK.
Well, I'm sure they'd be delighted to hear that. And just to reiterate, it's Komoro Distillery, right?
That's right, exactly.
Komoro, Komoro.
That's right, Komoro.
Yeah, wonderful. Okay, Ian, well, listen, I will bid you good night, and thank you once again. And I will no doubt speak to you very soon.
Yes. Okay, thank you, Eddie. Thank you for having me. Cheers.
Thank you, Ian. Thank you. Well, that was a nice surprise, right? Anyway, I'm supposing you probably want to get on with drinking whiskey. Well, I've started. So I am just about to hit go and make the videos live so that you can go and taste and watch these videos at your leisure. We have our live barbecue and cocktail session in just over an hour and a half. So if you have the barbecue set, then please join us. Even if you don't, please join us. It's going to be fun. I'm going to be putting together a couple of cocktails whilst we have Chris Perry Jones doing barbecue stuff. And we've got Nate Booker coming on to talk to us about Ragtime, which is the whiskey we're using for the cocktails. So I will bid you farewell for now, but please do check our YouTube channel in just a couple of minutes, and you'll be able to get full access to the content. I really hope you enjoy it. We have it has been a labor of love putting this together. It's been fantastic, but it's been really hard work, and I hope that you can see that we've gone out on a limb to really bring you something special and something that you can enjoy either over the weekend or, like I say, spread it out over the week. So for now, I will say Slanger. I'm going to have a little Slanger, and I will see you at 7. We have another live broadcast at 7 tomorrow evening, a blending session with my old man, believe it or not. And then Sunday, 5 p.m., we've got Desert Island Drams. So I will see you at one of those. Farewell for now.